Hello everyone. Well, it is mid-April and guess what? We have new plants that are in bloom. I know a couple of weeks ago there were different plants that were in bloom. Wanted to document and share this with you so we don't miss it, and we don't want to do that. We don't want these plants to miss their spotlight to shine. So if you are in the same growing zone as me and you are new to gardening, just know that you could be growing these plants also. Even if you're not in the same growing zone as me, maybe one below or one above, just know that you could be planting these plants as well, because most of the time, if not all, each plant can grow in a range of growing zones, not just one growing zone. So with that, let's go ahead and showcase these beautiful plants with their beautiful blooms right now. Here we have beautiful clematis. This is H.F. Young clematis. And next to it, we have Snow Queen clematis. This is a lot bigger than the white. So let me show you a close-up of that. Here's my hand, and look at how big the petals are and the whole flower. Now clematis likes full sun, but they like their root shaded. So if you're starting out, you want to protect the crown or the root as much as possible with gravel. I think I started off with gravel and rocks over here just to protect their root system. And now the root is well protected, and plus it's next to this Stella Ruby Magnolia, and together I think they kind of help each other out. Look at all the buds that are yet to be coming out, and I just love how the clematis is climbing onto this other plant, and that is something that you can do as well, is just to give it another aesthetic effect to your garden with having something else climbing up and blooming, especially when you don't have blooms on the other plant. An evergreen works really good, or just a tall tree that may not have any foliage on the bottom. So that way you have something beautiful where the lower branches are that do not have foliage. Even though the clematis plant, with the exception of the root, likes full sun because it gets a lot of blooms, it can do well in part sun as well. Maybe not like the same number of blooms as in full sun. Now part sun is direct sunlight between 4 to 6 hours, and then full sun is greater than 6 hours. Behind me is the Shaker's Prayer Siberian Iris. All right, so here are two plants. They were a gift from my sister, and if you love purple, this might be a good plant for you. I think this one is on its way out right here. Let's look for a younger bloom. So here's what it looks like. So if you love iris and you love purple, this might be a nice iris to have. So you cannot live in the South and not have azaleas. It is one of the common plants that people plant in their gardens. All right, let's look at this. Isn't that just amazing? It's a small plant, but it's covered with blooms. That's the nice thing about having azaleas. They bloom their heads off. I got this at a local plant sale, and it was just labeled as pink azalea. So this is like a nice bouquet shaped plant. It seems like you can just dig up this whole plant and just give it to somebody right now as a gift. All right, don't judge. I am behind with weeding. So this is Encore Azalea. This is Autumn Sangria. And I thought I would love it, but not as much. You can see there are plenty of blooms still. Not sure why I don't like about it, but if you love pink, it has beautiful pink blooms. I have another one right here. Next, we're gonna go see one that is in full sun that is so pretty. From gardens that I have seen in real life and in photos or in videos, azaleas just look so spectacular in a mass planting and in a woodland space. So if you have a woodland space and you love azaleas, plant them in mass with different colors and all that good stuff. It's just gonna look amazing for you. So let me show you a beautiful one by itself. And I like this one a lot because it's on a slope and it gives this slope a nice pop of color. And that is what I like most about the azalea in this space right now. All right, are you ready? Look at that. So it's in the middle of the hill. That's higher and that is lower. And doesn't that just look amazing? It looks very striking in that space right there, and it makes it pop and it makes it so special, the fact that it is the only plant in bloom right now, and that color just works so well with the yellow in the background there and foreground. And we're gonna look at that Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia. This was purchased last year and it is in bloom right now. These are bracts that you can say have turned into blooms, and this is what they look like. It's nice and wispy and whimsical. So if you want to plant it, just know that it's a plant that can be seen through. So if you plant an evergreen, for example, it could look really nice with a nice evergreen backdrop or some kind of structure. Here is the other older Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia. This one got some winter damage, so some of the branches or stems have died back, so I'll need to come and cut those back, which I have not done. So anyway, here's the other one. This is a container plant. This is a pansy variety. I don't think there was an actual species name to this. Look at it, so velvety. Since it's an annual, it does require more watering on my part. But anyway, it's just so beautiful. And it echoes the clematis in the background there. All right, if we come down, we see dianthus. This is, do not know the specific species. It was just labeled as dianthus species. So dianthus was introduced to me last year, and I just love the plant so much. So a nice surprise for me was that some of the dianthus species were actually tender evergreens in our zone here. So it was just so nice to still have some of them just looking very green. I'll go ahead and show you the one that pretty much stayed evergreen the whole winter. So this is the species that pretty much stayed evergreen the whole winter. There was just a little bit of dieback, but overall, the plant pretty much looked like this in the winter. So this dianthus is part of the American apple pie collection. This is cherry. And I love that it has that nice blue foliage color. So if you are into blue, this might be a good plant for you to have. And the collection comes with other color blooms as well, not just this red. So if you're not into red, they have it in different colors as well. Some more right there. So here's another species of it. Look at the beautiful velvety-like bloom. This one didn't do so well in the winter out of the 3 different species that are in the garden here. But look at them now. Here is something to note about the dianthus. Just know that they don't bloom at the same time, at least the ones that I have here, and they need to be deadheaded or cut back. Otherwise, they just kind of bloom kind of spindly like these. But I do not mind them at all. I know if maybe another gardener were to come to my garden, they might not like that look. But to me, this whole space right here is more rustic, so it works in my space here, and I do not mind seeing 1 or 2 blooms coming up like that. I kind of like that better. It just works with the rustic feel of our garden here. But just know that for yourself, that if you are somebody who likes everything to look nice and neat, a dianthus might not be for you, because it might require a lot of maintenance on your part with deadheading and keeping them looking nice throughout the whole season. All right, we are back at the original spot. I hope you found some plants that you could add to your garden here if you're new to gardening, and you might be getting blooms next year for yourself. And with that, I hope you found this video enjoyable and helpful. And until the next video, take care and bye for now. Well, thank you again for watching the video. If you would like to support my channel, please subscribe and watch some of the other videos. The video links are up above for you. So with that, thank you so much in advance. Take care and bye for now.